welcome to LadyGang Quickie. I am Becca here with Jack and Keltie.
Hello.
Keltieknight.
Did you cut your hair?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to ask the same thing.
It's cute. I like the layers.
Tucker cut it. I got some layers because I'm mostly wearing
Wigs.
Can you tell?
What?
You can tell. Well, you saw my
I
wig
can
in
tell.
person.
Yeah.
Only because we really know you.
But
what
I
I
don't
said,
think
'cause I
people
know it's a
care,
wig.
and I also feel like
Who gives a
nobody cares. My hair after my surgery, so when they put you under anesthesia, you know you die a little bit, right? Like they don't actually know how anesthesia works. Do you know
they know
this?
nothing about
They don't really
anesthesia.
know, but you're dead. Like essentially you're dead. And so your hair gets really dry after surgery. I don't know if
didn't
you
know
guys know that. Yeah, like it really messes with your hair. So literally right after my surgery, my hair just like started frying off because it just like
Interesting.
Because I was under for like almost 8 hours through my surgery.
That's so crazy.
So
Is this something like a fact, or you're just assuming?
I am almost positive. You can look it
I
up.
feel like
that your hair gets dry?
Your hair after surgery, like even Tucker was like, oh, no, after surgery, your hair is like screwed. Like it dies a little bit. And it's one of the first things to like shrivel up. Jack?
Well, there is an AI answer, but during surgery, doctors use anesthesia to put the body into a very
Just
relaxed
look up
state. When this
anesthesia.
happens, it causes the fast-paced cell division occurring in your hair follicles to slow down. This can cause a significant disruption in the normal production process.
but like your hair wouldn't have grown, like the end of your hair wouldn't have been affected.
She was
No.
dry.
think
I don't know. Anyway, it was dry.
Yeah, it's dead.
Tucker,
It's been
we
dead
needed a
for
cut.
years.
It's been
It
dead for a
feels
long time.
fake.
So
Fake news.
I have 4 wigs now that I'm rotating for E-News because it's just so much easier to roll in, braid up
Wig.
the hair, put on the wigs, and then I have like a cute look. So I have Ashley Tisdale. Ashley Tisdale has a little bang. She's a little darker.
that
That's
the
what I was
one I
wearing
met?
with you.
Yeah.
You met Ashley. Then I have Stacey Ferguson, who is named after Fergie from Black Eyed Peas. Middle part, just like long, like very Duchess. Then I have Chaos with a K, like Kardashians with my bob. And I have
names.
one unnamed wig, which is the wrong color.
Should it be Baby June?
Baby June. Baby June. Anyway, so I just feel happy because I really like to have like a real look at E-News.
Yeah.
But the fun thing is, guys, we're playing so much, like such a fun game with John Pascarella, my EP, because he doesn't know I'm wearing wigs yet. And he hasn't figured it out. So he'll just come up to me. He's like, Keltie, did you get highlights? Your hair is so blonde. I
my God.
love it. And then the next day, I'm like wearing Ashley Tisdale and it's more like musty brown.
Well,
and
men
then
don't
he
know
won't say
anything.
anything. And then the next day, he'll be like, your hair looks fire. I love you blonde. And then like, so I'm wearing Stacey Ferguson.
Men.
Man. Anyway, I love it. And I actually have an appointment at the wig.
Ferguson. Is that Fergie's real name?
Yeah.
Stacy?
Stacey Ferguson is her full
way.
name. I actually have an appointment next week at the Wig Fairy, which is in LA, and they do so many good wigs. And listen, there's a lot of different reasons. Like, I'm not making fun of wigs. There's a lot of different reasons people wear wigs. Whether you want to protect your hair texture, whether you've gone through something traumatic, where alopecia, chemo. Like, I'm lucky that I get to have a good set of hair and then wear a wig. Like, I fully agree. But, it just makes my life easier. But anyway, I'm going to the Wig Fairy. And
Show the work,
Show the work. They have fierce wigs. Anyway, it was really fun because sometimes I put Derek in the wigs.
Oh, cute.
Oh my God, he looks great in a wig. Okay, so today on the Lady Gang, we have, in honor of our tour, which is called...
Never forget your first.
Yes.
I totally forgot. I was going to say Lady Secrets.
We have our worst first. So we launched this app where you can leave us a DM or a voicemail. And we asked people for their worst first. And what we meant was like your worst first car, your worst first, like whatever. But we got a lot of sex stories, but they're so funny, you guys. And so we wanted to play some of your, like, LadyGang community is everything. And we're trying to figure out a really fun game to play when we're on tour about worst first, because it's all about the firsts of your life. And so are you guys ready to hear some worst first?
Yes.
They're crazy. Okay, here we go.
Okay, when I was studying abroad in France, the first week I met this Canadian French boy, and he was a little bit dorky, but for some reason I just really wanted to hook up with him. And my dorm room was the smallest thing ever, literally a shoebox with the smallest, like half of a twin bed size. And we ended up making out on a picnic bench in the park and then went to my dorm room, and I was on my period. And when I told him that, like in a French accent, he was like, oh, other women tell me this. And then he was like, but can I put it up your butt? And well, I never did that before. And we tried for like 1 second. And even though he had literally the tiniest dick ever, I was like, oh, no, you cannot put it there. And then he was like done in 1 second. I don't even know what he did because it wasn't there. And then he left. We said bye. And he never talked to me again, even though we had classes together and were in the same building for the next 5 months while I studied abroad. He ignored me, wouldn't make eye contact with me. And yeah. So that was awkward.
Wee. Can I put it up your butt?
Can I put it up your butt?
Also, I have so many questions.
Start from the beginning.
Okay. First of all, if you're willing to put it in her butt, why
You're
not
not
just have sex on her period?
100%.
It's not like
Listen,
you're avoiding
The gross.
a mess.
some bodily functions.
Yeah. So why is it more
Sanitary.
appropriate to put it in the butt versus a period vagina?
I think it's actually the opposite. If I was a man, I would rather period than bum.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think
but men love
men
anal sex.
love a bun.
They love a bun.
They love a bun.
They love a bun in the
I will
oven.
go back to my original thought that I was thinking about 5 seconds ago, that men that are too scared or like don't like having sex with a woman on their period, I don't trust. Like, I feel like a man, no?
I agree to an extent, but you know the way that I am with spit?
Yeah, same.
Like if there was a way to avoid a time of the month where I
Yeah.
didn't have to deal with spit,
Yeah.
I would do that. So some guys, and I don't think it's misogynistic because frankly, I don't want my period blood anywhere other than inside of me in a period
I
panty.
don't either.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I don't want that like juicing around.
I just don't like a man being grossed out by my body.
Well, I don't
Like,
think it's a gross out. I think it's
It's
kind of like
misunderstood, Becca. Because it's like, I'm going to defend the men here. We're taught that we're not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
So like, how do you think the men feel? They're probably like I think sometimes men probably pull our old tampons out of the garbage to look at them to be like, this is how it works. Because who's teaching them?
I think there's a mixture. I think there's men who don't mind it at all. There's probably men who actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think there's men who are like, I could probably like take it or leave it. So
Yeah.
I'm probably going to avoid that time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be offended by it if a man wasn't just like,
Wanted to
because
roll.
it's like, take your scraps,
yeah.
take my scraps.
no, I know. Well, that's how I still feel like that. I'm
Right.
like, you should be wanting me all of the time,
Yes.
no matter what is going on.
Since I can't be a hypocrite, and since I, give blowjobs sans spit, then I can't really be, judgmental.
Yeah.
I'm so judgmental against it. But I mean, the moral of the story is
That guy's a loser and you
he
can do
tried
better.
to put it up her butt with his, not judging, very small penis. She didn't know where he came, but he came at some point, and then didn't talk to her ever again.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, like, dude, this is on you. She didn't do anything wrong. She just was on her period.
Yeah.
I just like, you know how always on LadyGang, I'm always like, I should have had like a really runaway romance with a European lover.
No, it would have been that.
Now I think it would be this.
Yeah.
And so
He's-
D, whoever you
he's
are,
French Canadian.
I'm happy you lived this instead of me.
He's French Canadian, so it doesn't count.
That's true. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's true for you.
Okay. This is from Cass.
So my worst first, it's my ex-husband.
Oh.
My parents met him for the first time at their house having dinner. My mom's sitting there and it's her because she's trying to figure out where she knows him from. Why he looked so familiar. Then finally it dawns on her that she's seen him on the TV,
Oh, no.
local news for our city's police department's most wanted. Yep. She figured it out. First time she met him. Yes. Ex-husband. Long story. Laugh about it now, but that was my first worst.
Wait, talk about I need to know more.
I know,
many.
Cass, can you please write us a dictonomy on
No,
like
I
all
know.
of this?
What was he on the TV? I need to know the crime.
Is dictonomy a word?
No.
Yeah, what was that?
Like a dichotomy?
Dichotomy?
Dichotomy.
That's
dichotomy.
You're not using that correctly.
A dichotomy is like when they're like two opposing ideas. What are you using it as?
I married someone who loves the local news.
Yes.
And it's so funny because I make fun of him so much, but then I catch myself getting sucked in and I'll find fun events to do on the weekend in Austin.
Yes.
Or dangerous people, criminals in town, or things that are happening like bodies being thrown in the river. Did you know this, Jack? We have a serial killer in Austin and they can't figure out, they just keep finding young men's bodies in the river.
It's been like a whole thing.
Yeah, I want to know.
Well, there is like, they thought there was like a theory that it was like, he was called the smiley face killer because it was like college age men.
Yeah.
Like drunk, wandering home and like end up in a river.
Yeah.
And then there was like a bunch of them that they found like smiley faces like graffitied near them. But it was like a loose theory. But yes, I do know that.
I think it's a woman.
That's killing them?
Like
pushing their bodies in the river?
women serial
The
killer.
dichotomy.
The dichotomy of it all.
Dichotomy.
No, please expand on your story. I got to know more.
Yeah,
and
we need to-
ended up being an ex-husband, which meant that the mom
That's
had to
probably
live
the
with
beginning
that.
of the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, she met him at dinner. They eventually married and then divorced, but she was willing to overlook the most wanted felon.
Oh.
This does remind me, I meant to tell you guys, I got jail mail lately.
Oh.
I got new jail mail.
Can you read it on the LadyGang?
They can get
or is it bad?
Now it's
cable in jail now?
rude.
No, but that was your whole explanation for why
Yes.
when you were on CBS you got so much jail mail
Yes.
because they only get network.
Now they get
Find
cable.
your PO box in the first place.
Here's the thing. I used to get my jail mail sent to the CBS studios. Now jail mail comes on email. And it's called
Write a prisoner or write a felon.com.
something like, I can't remember the exact website. I can look it up, but it's like soon-to-be-released.com. It's for people that are getting out and they want to try to make connections. And I got it, like, I'm coming out soon. I'd like to meet you.
Why don't you hire an intern from there?
You think?
That would be
can
a fun
we-
reality show.
Can we read your mail on LadyGang?
But that's all it said. It was just like, hey, there's a message from I'mGettingOutSoon.com.
Read it.
But no, that was the message. I want to connect with you, but I don't want to connect.
Oh, that's
weird.
it? There wasn't, like, any,
Well, that's
like-
the problem with new school jail mail. Like, I just want the handwritten note about how beautiful I am. I
Yeah.
don't want to have to, like, accept your message.
Like, he
'Cause I
needs to
don't
help
want
you on his next
He's like,
thing.
no. She wanted me to come to her house in Sherman Oaks and, like, steal her money. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go.
I feel you almost said your address right there.
Totally. This is from Brandy.
Hi, Lady Gang. I love that you're doing this. My name is Brandy, and my story isn't about technically my first, but after breaking up with my first boyfriend ever, who I was with for over 2 years, and he was my first, I waited a while to get back out there. So I finally meet a guy, and I'm like so nervous to have sex again with somebody new. It was only my second partner. And I finally see what he's equipped with, and he was massive. My ex was like decent. This guy was massive, at least 9 inches. The girth. Oh my God.
Girth.
And I was terrified. But I said, I got to get back out there. Like, I have to do it at some point. So, I didn't realize that we needed more lube than we had, our own natural lube. And, well, he slid in and I tore open.
Oh.
I got a 4-inch incision on the inside of my vagina. I was gushing blood all over the bed. It looked like a crime scene. And I ran to the bathroom, trail of blood following me. I was mortified. And I was like, well, that's that. Then he reached back out and I was like, did you not want to check on me? Like, what happened? I had to have stitches. This was serious. Eventually, why, I don't know, but we did it again. But this time, we used a lot of coconut oil. And I did not tear open again, but damn, did it hurt. He was just so big. It was painful. So he will forever be referred to by my friends as coconut oil.
Oh, wow.
Which, before we start, coconut oil like breaks down a condom.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're looking for a safe sex situation,
Not good.
coconut oil is not a good
does?
lube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a PSA.
I just have never seen a penis that big.
Really?
I'm going to die not
I've
seeing
seen
a penis.
so many penis.
Me
say
too.
9 inches,
I
big,
have,
breakable.
Oh, yeah. I have such good penis karma.
What
does that
do you
mean?
Meaning the majority of the penises
Like we're big.
were big.
Oh.
Like
Wait,
I
but
had
why is that good
one-
penis? Oh, because you might have done well in a past life?
Well,
They're
just,
giving you big ones
Like I have
now?
good luck when it comes. Like I've only had one.
But that's so up because you're so small. You
Yeah,
like
but my
save
vagina-
the big
his
penis.
vagina is
Save
the
the
same
big
size.
penises for the
my
tall
canal
girls.
is probably the same size as the average girl.
Yeah.
So I only had one experience that was very, very small.
Interesting.
Everyone else has been,
Fine.
pretty much above average. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Did you want to say what you're going to say when that was on or no?
Okay, so when I was in high school, I had a boyfriend and he had a large penis and I didn't have experience at all. But every time we had sex, I would bleed like shark attack.
No.
Yeah. So we would, I hope that my family, my husband,
Turn into
keep
fun.
it in the gang, guys.
But when
okay?
you say, keep it in the gang.
So we started having to have sex only in showers because it would just be.
Did it hurt?
No, not at all.
Really?
Not at all.
Weird.
So, of course, like as a young person does, I never really
Thought about it?
addressed it beyond. I was just like, well, this is what happens to my vagina when it happens.
Right. This is normal.
And then like 10 years ago, I was having sex with somebody and it happened again, like all over the bed. And he was like, did you get your period? I'm like, no, I definitely didn't. And that's not period blood. It's a
You can
bright
tell.
red
Right.
And it's like liquidy.
liquidy.
Yeah.
And it happened almost every time that we had sex. And so I finally, being an adult at this point, went to my gyno and she was saying when you're with somebody with a very large penis, you can get these little lesions inside and the skin inside is very like tender, delicate. So you can get these little tiny tears.
Ouch.
But it was, I actually wanted to know later, which I would never, but I want to know if those guys had that with everyone. Partner.
Probably.
Right?
Probably.
Or with a lot.
There's a thing is too big.
But the guy that 10 years ago had already had sex with a number of women and he didn't mention that it had happened to other people.
Yeah. Oh, he probably gets off on it too, which is gross.
It's so strange.
I just like, when I see those big basketball players, I'm just like,
It doesn't matter how tall they are.
it doesn't?
No. I mean, sometimes it's
Are you
proportionate,
sure?
sometimes it's not.
Right. That's true. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, Becca.
It's fine. It didn't hurt. But that girl, she had some pain. And
Ouchies.
She had to get stitches.
how do you even get stitches?
That's like what happens when you give
up
a
in there. No, the baby's
baby.
like lower. Like that's
Yeah.
like the.
Wait, she had to get
I guess
stitches
she must
up in
have
her,
torn.
in her
She
cervix?
tore not in her cervix.
Oh.
I had those stitches. They're not fun.
Do they just go away? Dissolve?
They dissolve, but do you know what the craziest part, I can talk about it now, is that finally, I know people are like in the reviews, please stop talking about your fucking surgery. Okay, I see you.
They've said this?
Some people.
This is why you feel bad about yourself because you're reading reviews.
Yeah, I
It's
read some
the
interviews.
dumbest thing ever.
But anyway, here's what's crazy about internal surgeries is that you think they're going to snip and sew, but they don't. It's a brand, you guys. It's a hot scissor.
Well, that would make sense.
So they
I feel like.
take your...
Why do you know this?
Because I didn't watch
Didn't you watch the
I did not
the
watch
TikTok where they put you upside down?
I watched that and then I was like, no more. It wasn't until I was like at 7 weeks post-surgery that I watched my surgery on YouTube and they have a hot scissor.
Your own surgery.
Not my own surgery, but the
so
hysterectomy.
crazy.
They go into your fallopian tube and it's just a hot scissor. It scalds and burns and castrates or whatever at the same time.
Castrates.
Yeah. So there's there's stitches on my cervix, but the other parts, when they cut off your ovary and
That's
your
an easier way to do
it's
it.
just burnt.
Yeah.
I would never go looking. Like, I don't want
I
to
know.
know at
No, I didn't
all.
want to know either, but then I got interested. My mom, I was like, Mom, did you watch the surgery? She's like, yeah, I had to. I'm like, okay, hold on. There's more.
So my worst first is the first hookup I had after losing my virginity to my boyfriend. I had only had sex with one person, and Did not really know much about the condom game, didn't really know much about the sex game in general. Just kind of knew what I knew with the one guy. I am on a date with another man. I am feeling ready to have sex with somebody else. And he comes up to my apartment. Things are hot and heavy. And I ask him if he has a condom. He did not. And so I go into my bathroom. I start searching around for anything that my ex had left behind. Sure enough, there was a strip of condoms. And I gave one to
Safe
my
sex,
date.
good girl.
He puts it on. Unfortunately, he puts it on inside out.
Ooh.
And it was a fire and ice condom. And his dick is immediately on fire. And he starts panicking. And he is just screaming, "What is this? What is this?" And I am reminded of maybe like a year ago, my ex buying a pleasure pack that had, different types of condoms in it. And we only used it once because the fire and ice experience in my vagina was absolutely terrible. So
Fire and ice.
this guy rips the condom off his dick. It's on fire. It's on ice. Maybe 20 minutes. And needless to say, we did not have sex. He left. And a couple days later, we went on another date. Went back to his house. He had purchased his own condoms. And unfortunately, he couldn't get it up. I think the trauma of it all just really killed the mood, and we never went out again. So there was that.
Oh, poor guy.
Not the fire and ice condom. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I
Well,
didn't
this
either.
is literally a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. I can't remember what exactly happened, but Larry and oh my God, Cheryl are having sex.
How dare you?
I know this is really embarrassing. Larry and Cheryl were having sex, and then like right after, she's like, something is like burning. She's like, I'm burning on the inside, and she like couldn't figure out what it was. I think it was a fire and ice condom. So
Why were they using condoms? They're married.
I don't know.
Great question.
I don't know. Well, they didn't have kids.
Maybe he didn't have a vasectomy.
They didn't have a
Maybe
snippy
she-
snip. I don't remember it, but there was a Curb Your Enthusiasm twist in there.
Do you just remember when you were 20 and you'd go into the sex store and you'd be like, you know what we need to get? All the flavors of lube.
Yeah.
Like I look at that, I think about that now, and I was like, the yeast infection.
Yeah,
The
like
young
also my-
vagina was
The
really
young vagina was so resilient.
The pH was just pHing down
It was
there.
pHing.
Yeah.
It was
'Cause it was more fluid.
Skibbity-dibbity.
It was just more fluid that
Now-
kept things moving.
Yeah.
I know.
Now
Now
it's a stagnant desert.
It is. Like I could look at that online and get a yeast infection.
know.
Yeah, with the scent alone.
Oh my God. It's like if I'm not even using the right soap.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to be so careful. Air it out. Right pajamas.
Cotton only.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
We're old.
Anyway, thank you for playing Worst First.
We weren't here for a long time.
Bye.